the SM Media Podcast Network.
Hi folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the 80, your look at all things west of Scotland here on SM Media. I'm Scott McPike. It is always a pleasure to be your host. And for opening league weekend, we've got a very good guest for the first kind of review show of the season. It's a pleasure to welcome formerly of Vale Clyde and Atherley, Colin Reilly.
How you doing, Scott? Thanks for having me on.
A pleasure,
Appreciate it.
mate. Looking forward to it. How you been?
Yeah, fantastic. Good. Had a good break. Just back from holidays, so yeah, all good.
It's that time of the year, isn't it, where you're still kind of in holiday mode, but then the football just comes on you quickly as possible. Very
Yeah,
different summer.
strange. Yeah, it's the first season I've sort of had on holiday and not really been, well, sort of being a manager, let's say. So it's been a bit strange from that perspective, but all the same, very good.
Yeah, and like for those who obviously don't know, like what you kind of been doing since you kind of left management. When was it? When did that happen? The Arsenal thing?
Um, it was at mid March.
Yeah, it does look like
Um,
that.
I think so. Um, yeah, so I mean, I completely came away from it. Be honest, I was scunnered with the level after what happened. So I took a good time away, just went and took in games, enjoyed time with the family. Um, Done a couple of sort of SFA coaching courses, kept myself sort of busy, sort of got into gardening.
Mhm.
Um, and then obviously John McEwen at Shots. Um, Sort of contacted me. And to be fair to John, who's the one person who sort of reached out to me every other day or week during that period when I wasn't involved, just checking in, making sure that I
Yeah,
was all right and stuff like that. Just a fantastic person, really. And sort of floated the idea of coming in and being part of his management team. Sort of started off a bit loose, sort of helping him with recruitment and things like that. And then sort of as the pre-season sort of got nearer, we sort of asked if I'd sort of become part of his management team. Um, Maybe more so in like a third man position. So it's been good from that perspective. I've had my hand in with John and his management team with Dev and Willie. It's been really good. I think from my side also, I felt that you just sense checking what you do
yeah,
yourself. Sort of take stock of where you are yourself, how you do management. So it's been good from that point of view myself. Just sort of let in the background for John, just seeing how he does things. He's been at this level for 15 years, so I've actually really enjoyed it and seen sort of how good a manager he actually is. But also for myself, it's just reflecting on how I done things and making sure that what I believe in and how I would approach things and I approach the season and seeing how John does it, that I was on track. And yeah, so far it's been good and a lot of sort of information. John sort of and Dev for that matter have welcomed me right into their management team. They've kind of given me a bit of a freedom to get involved in anything I see to sort of then implement in coaching and sessions. And sort of Thursday there was the first time really that I picked something up in a game, and then I tried to bring it into training so that we could then take it into a game on Saturday. So thoroughly enjoying it so far.
yeah. And like when you're in the weeds as much when you're a manager and you're focusing on a lot of different things in the start of the season's a lot different now than what it is then. Is that difficult to turn your mind in that regard in terms of you're not a manager, you're not looking at perhaps the fixtures or the budget and things like that, and you're just purely coaching? Is that a better mentality to have at this point, do you think, for you?
Um, Difficult, difficult to answer. I think what it has shown me is that I miss it. I miss it a lot. That management side of it and managing the full structure of a club, the footballing side of it, and being actually a leader. I do see myself as a leader in many ways, so I miss it from that perspective. But also, when you come away at night, it's quite nice, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
it's not your problem as such, but it is completely different. I've got to say, people, when I came on with Johnny, he actually did say being a number two is the easiest thing in the world, and I'd never done it, so I can actually say it. I can agree it is.
And look, for the outside looking in terms of the kind of way the season's going this year with the eight going up, and it's going to be a funny season. Is that kind of look? Can ask a lot of managers this that maybe aren't in at the start of the season. Is this a different kind of approach to have at this point, where you look at clubs and you're looking at maybe kind of down the line what your kind of thoughts are for kind of moving forward? Have you got anything in mind that you're maybe looking at down the line, or is it full ahead with kind of shots for the time being?
For me, it's supporting John. John's got big ambitions of getting into that top eight.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, everyone knows that he works with a shoestring budget. Um, Everyone will talk about budgets, but he's worked hard to retain players that he's got because there was silly money getting thrown around some of his players. He's worked real hard. He's got some loyal players there, I will say, who could go and get some right good money. But at this moment in time, for me, I've got the opportunity to work with John, support John. I'm a loyal person myself, so I will back him. I've told him that. I'll back him all the way. If an opportunity presents itself, he won't stand in my way. But we'll see what it is. But for me, I'm not looking actively.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm giving John the support. If an opportunity comes to me, then also it's a discussion I'll have with John, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that sounds very good. What's going on with you at Shots at the moment? Let's get into the weekend. Obviously, opening weekend, so we saw a lot of fascinating results and a lot of goals. Actually, we'll get into two leagues in particular where there was goals galore. But we'll start with the top flight. Auchinleck sit top after the first game. They won 4-0 away to Hurlford. It's normal service into Auchinleck. Near enough at the
Yeah,
top of the
started
table.
well, started very strongly. I'm sure Tucker will be delighted with that start.
Yeah, and it's a tough place to go at the start of the season.
Uh,
Like Hurlford away in the opening day, I don't think is easy for anybody. But I think Auchinleck, for what I heard and kind of speaking to people who were at the game, I think they were very composed. I think they've recruited quite well. I think they're signing a Luke Bain for East Kilbride. I really like the signing there
yeah, yeah,
and keeping
yeah.
boys for last season. Hurlford, wee bit of worry, opening day defeat like that.
You say that, but he always finds a way, doesn't he,
I
getting
know.
out there? I don't think you can ever knock Hurlford.
No.
He always seems to find a way of getting a team. He might be slower getting it together this year, but yeah, I wouldn't be suggesting Hurlford for relegation or that just now anyway. Far too experienced, knows too much of the leagues. I'm sure he'll maybe realise he maybe needs to bring in a couple, but yeah, I think he'll find a way as he always does.
Yeah, and again, with kind of teams like Hurlford, I think there are a few teams that will maybe crop up in this kind of team. It's maybe going to take them 4 or 5 games just to get their squad fully in. There's been a few bodies, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go on. I think Auchinleck, though, like, I don't see a world where they're not in the top eight and they start like
Yeah.
that. Like, I just think they could be very good this season.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think they'll be pushing really to get into that Lowland West if it goes ahead. I know I mentioned Hurlford not being relegated. I know there is no relegation, but you certainly don't want to be down
You
in the
don't want
bottom
to be down
three
there, yeah.
anyway. Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a bit of pride involved in that with all the clubs this season.
Yeah, and one side that I think had a good start to their season were Cumnock. They won 3-1 at home to Largs. Double from Adam Ford and a goal from Buchanan. Again, these are two sides that I think they finished sixth and seventh last season. Like Cumnock, I think bringing in Adam Ford, I think Cumnock's recruitment's been very good, and I think that's a massive boost for them. Like last season, I think a lot of hype was going into them and they had a poor start. I think that would have been a big 3 points for Swifty and just getting that first win, getting that
Yeah,
momentum going, and your new signing, who a lot of pressure will want to get goals, scores a double. think I could have asked for a better day.
No, I think they'll be right up there this season. I really do. I think they'll be up there challenging. I think they've recruited exceptionally well. They've taken in Lee Ralston also from Atherley,
Yeah,
who for me when I was there was first name on the team sheet every week. Absolutely outstanding, professional, desire to win, hunger for the game, and they'll really benefit from Lee Ralston getting into that team. And his work rate is just astronomical. So I think they've got a bit of a golden nugget there. We're getting Lee in as well.
yeah, I really do think as well. Like Lee Wilson played, obviously bringing in Grant Gallagher as well. Fish from there, a good bit of experience. I think they're in a really good position. I can see them
Yeah,
doing well. Johnson Borough winning 2-0 away to winning goals from Rossiter and Diver. Good start for Johnson Borough. One thing that really caught my eye was just how stacked they are in terms of squad depth. Like
yeah,
it's like crazy
all
their
over.
bench.
Yeah,
It's like obviously Diver scoring as well. I think Kieran Diver's another player who could have a good season. Ian McShane and Stuart Folds, I think, are two good bits of business. But their bench, McDonald, Smith, Martin, Cairn, McKenzie, Forrester, and Kyle Lafferty's not even in the squad. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's
it
sensational.
shows you when you have a squad like that, and again with all the promotion places available, Murdy can use his bench. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
economy days, he's going to need
Ross
that.
Roster will be like a new signing as well. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
never played, never really featured much last season with his injury. And the season before with Beatty was unplayable.
Yeah.
When we played them, when it was Athlone, we played them down there, it was just unplayable. It was unreal. I watched his goal today. It was very, very good. Looks like he's obviously back to fitness and back to firing. So again, they'll be right up there. They'll be wanting to win that league and sort of go up as champions, I guess.
And like as well, like Bede obviously off to a good start. They won 1-0 away to Pollock. And obviously Mick get in there, the Lop get in over the summer. There's been a bit of a transition since Straney left, but I like what Bede have done over the summer.
Yeah, they've added quite a bit of experience. They went for boys that have been maybe played at a higher level. So I think he's recruited well actually. Um, yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be up there as well.
Yeah, and like again, like when you bring in players like that, like Scott Rumsby, I think is a good addition. Liam McGonigal, I think is tremendous bit of business. I just think like these sides who are again, it's unknown if they're like SFA licensing things, but there's a lot of sides who are just solid and have recruited well and like will be aiming for better than what they eventually finish. I know that sounds
Yeah,
silly when you've got eight going up, but a lot of these sides will not be looking at it going, "Oh, we just need to finish eighth." They'll be looking going,
yeah,
"We got a run going here," and it's such a tight league that a run of 4 or 5 games is just going to make
yeah.
a massive difference, and we'll see how the kind of start goes. Troon winning 2-1 away to Renfrew, Fulton and Viviani. All reports Troon had to work hard.
Yeah, definitely. I went and watched Renfrew towards the back end of last season and very workmanlike. Played against them also last season as well. Had some good quality, but worked hard feature a really good unit. Worked. I'm not sure they've brought many new faces in. Haven't seen much
I've
what
lost
they've
a
added.
couple.
Yeah. Um, but I was quite impressed with how Troon recruited over the summer as well. I actually thought they recruited really well by bringing in Kieran McDonald, Lloyd Gow at the back. So they've added a bit of sort of experience as well.
Yeah, I think they're in a good position, Troon. Shots won, Glenafton won. You'd have seen this firsthand. What was your
Yeah,
thoughts in the game?
first half we were the better side, as usual with the wind at our back and throwing things into the box. But we had the better of the first half. Bit of a sort of standard sort of first game of the season, a bit frantic the first 20, 25 minutes. The game did settle down slightly. First half we were probably worthy of a 1-0 lead. Second half we were poor. We never got going at all. We never got the ball down at all and tried to play. We never really threatened. In the second half, Glens were worthy of the one each draw. And probably in the end, we're probably unlucky not to nick it, to be honest. We would, John said at the end of the game, last year they would probably went on and lost it. But the guys battled well. Erskine came on and made a big, big difference though. His quality in the ball is just just really, you could just see he's played at such a high level. He's loads of ability, and he knows the wee areas and pockets to be in the attacking third. So um, they'll be all right. They were good. They were decent the second half. First half they weren't quite at it, but the second half they were much better.
And I'm just looking through the team, and I heard this as well, and the same with Glenafton. I thought there's a lot of good experience in there. Like obviously, like I think Ali Small's a really good addition. I think Mark McKenzie coming in is good as well, and Dylan McGuigan. I've got a lot of good bodies in there in terms of the Shaw's
Yeah,
team. Was that the kind of plan in the summer to get more kind of experience in there?
yeah. I think one of the big things that we needed was to go and sort of recruiting that final third,
Hmm.
get sort of maybe a bit more quality in the final third. Also, I worked with Dylan at Clyde and
Yeah,
Atherley. So Dylan sort of gets you up the park, gets you into really good areas, makes good runs into the box. That's something where shots maybe haven't had in the last couple of seasons. And then with Squib as well, you know what you're getting with him. He's got loads of quality, and that final third works hard, really good professional. Probably one of the best professionals I've seen at this level, to be honest. Really good in the dressing room, leads by example. Good with the young kids. So yeah, they recruited well, I think. Also bringing in Boy Bowie as well in the middle of the parks, a bit of strength, really good left foot. But there's already existing good players there. Obviously Ali Martin was there, Boy Robbie Torrance at the back,
yeah,
and Jack Gordon in the middle of the park. I think's really good, got a lot of good qualities. And then Taylor Evans up front
hmm
is very physical and aggressive, and gets you into really good areas up the park and works hard, works really, really hard for the team, sacrifices himself. So Shots will do well this season. Top eight will push hard, will push the boys hard. It'll be a hard season, but we're up for the fight.
yeah, no, absolutely. And again, two other draws as well: Drumchapel 0, Rutherglen 0, and Arthurlie drew 0-0 with St Cadoc's. I wouldn't say I was overly surprised just hearing about things about the game. One thing that kind of jumped out was particularly like Drumchapel. You look at their side, and again, we'd picked them. I'd fancy them strongly to do really well. They've got a lot of good players for the level, I think. Same with St Cadoc's as well. What do you think Arthurlie this season? Like, I know, like in terms of who they've brought in, and they had a lot of kind of transition over the summer. Do you think they've recruited well over the summer?
Um, I, I haven't really. I'll be honest. I haven't really seen who they brought in. All I know is the boys I can comment on the boys that have stayed. I think Keaton, Mark Waters, much a thorn in my side, is a big signing for them. A fantastic goalkeeper, and an even better person.
Hmm.
So I think keeping him was a real good bit of business. Because he was only on a 1 year, so keeping him was massive. Also keeping the skipper Mike McNeil.
Yeah,
Um, Other than that, I'm not sure. I know they signed the boy Barr from Thornwood,
I think they
also played
signed
at
him,
Ashfield.
Johnny Black as well. I think they got for
Yeah,
that
Johnny
squad.
Black's there. Yeah, so yeah, I think I guess they'll be fine. They've still got the boy Aaron Healy there, so obviously he's got that X factor in him. So um, I think they'll do all right.
Okay, we'll move into the first division. A lot of goals. Only two teams in the league didn't score. A lot of goals that you had to get your money's worth if you're at a first division game, as you will all season and probably for the past 3 years. Such a hard league to get out of, isn't
Yeah,
it?
as I say, I speak to loads of people about this, and I've been in Prem the first, the second, and the first is definitely the hardest
Yeah.
league out of them all. I mean, it's just something different every week. It's a different dimension of a game every week. Different type of teams you're playing against, and I know the Prem. I just feel that the Prem's that you know what you're getting. It's a lot more physical. The demands are there in the Prem, but I think in the first it's just so black or white teams that you're playing against. It's really different every week.
Yeah, we'll get into some of the results. Thornleywood, a 5-2 away win over Darvel. Double from Brandon Blackshaw before he moves to Texas to start his scholarship. So fair play. Good way to go, innit? Score a double
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
then like
absolutely. We played them pre-season, and the kid came on and he really sparked them. I didn't know much about him before the game, but he really sparked them and he came on, he gave them a real good bit of life. Was really impressed by him actually. I was actually impressed by Thornwood and how they played.
Aye, they're a guy that could be,
They,
they could go under the radar, yeah.
they play some good football and they've got really good rotations. They don't listen. October, November, December, January when it comes and it's a bog, it might be different, but
Yeah,
they certainly tried to play a good brand of football. I was really impressed by them.
yeah. No, I think that's a really impressive result. That's one of the results of the weekend for me. I really was impressed with that. 2-4-2s. We saw Irvine Meadow beat Muirkirk 4-2 at home. Double from Kyle Cade, goals from Mackenzie and Baird. And good start to Neilston as they return to the First Division, 1-4-2 at home to Rob Roy. Double from Fletcher, goals from McNabb and Ingram. Irvine Meadow and Neilston, like they're two kind of big names, and that's a good start for them.
Yeah, I think Jamie's recruited really well actually in the summer. I think he's done really well. Um, I do feel that they'll be in the top three in that division, definitely. Again, he's been in that division, he knows it. He knows all the teams round about him and that. I think they'll be right up there at the end of the season. They've signed the boy Kyle Greig, I think was it fourth
Fourth, yeah.
before. I had him at Villa Clyde as well. He's a real threat off the last man. He's quick, pacey, good finisher. I think he'll do well. And again, Neilston, I think they've got a good group of boys there. A team that's kind of stuck together from last season, I think, and then also looking to kick on again. Fletcher as well as Atherley, really good again, really good finisher. So I think they'll do well as well, absolutely.
Yeah, other good results as well. Double for Josh Moore for Cumbernauld against Lanark. They're a side that, again, like not many people had them on their radar, but they're a side that are certainly solid, Cumbernauld, and they're really well coached.
Yeah, Jamie's a good friend of mine. We actually take our kids' football team together, so I wasn't surprised to see, and I actually think they'll be right up there challenging as well. There'll be a tough group to break down, Cumbernauld. He's recruited quite well in the summer. And I really like Jordan's brother, Josh. I think he's a right good player. When he was leaving Ashfield last season, I actually inquired about him. I think he's got a lot of quality. Just a bit injury, unlucky with injuries, some injuries, but I think he's a really good player.
Alex Castle scored a hat-trick for Petershill. They won 4-3 away to Benburb. That was a good game by all reports. St Roch's winning 2-1 at home to your old club Vale of Clyde. And Kilburn winning 1-0 away to Ardrossan. Like, again, three good starts for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Petersill's a great start, I thought. Boyd Castle's really quick, but getting the hat tricks, fantastic start. I think Davey at Benville will be raging right enough, but he won't be happy with that. But good start for Petershill. I think the Rock and the Vale Clyde game was quite close by all accounts. Vale Clyde had a couple of opportunities to maybe equalise, but again, St Roch's have recruited well. They bring the big boy McKinven in. I tried to sign him 3 times last season. Very good striker. Oh, absolutely. For me, he's one of the best strikers in the league. He's physical, holds the ball in well, can actually turn and face you, gets himself in the box. Big admirer of him. I think he'll score a lot of goal there for him. And a good result for Kilburn as well.
Yeah. Wee bit in that bit there. That was, I think Colin will be happy with a result like that. I think probably the game of the weekend was Whitlett's 4, Gartcairn 4. I think Gartcairn were 4-1 up. I think Dale Simeon had scored a hat trick and some comeback for Whitlett's. And again, like, I think a lot of people would have picked that out as a game to go and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like a cracker. I think they were maybe cruising, and then some decisions made by a referee, by all accounts of what I see on social media.
We're already there. We're not even the end of July, and we're there.
1 week in, it's the result.
No, I think again, I wouldn't say be surprised if Whitlett's do pretty well because I think they've got a good crop of players in there's a togetherness there. I think some of the players they brought in, I think, are really good for the level. I think Gartcairn, I looked at the side and think you're going to fly.
No, I think Gartcairn will be right up. The depth and quality that they've got and kept from last year, again, they've got a core there that's played together for a while. I think they'll kick on. They've too much quality in that team, too much experience as well, not to.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. I think it's a really fascinating league as always. I think the second division could be as well. I think 15 of the 16 teams scored and there was just goals everywhere. But Bells Hill 5-3 away win over Caledonian Locomotives. I think a good start for John at Bells Hill. I was really
Yeah,
intrigued to see what they done over the summer, and I think that's a good start. But again, like even though you score five, you probably don't want to concede three.
yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, when they were down to 10 men, they were losing 3-2.
Yeah,
So
I
by
think
all
Caledonian lost two players as
accounts,
well. I think they
yeah,
missed three
by
red
all
cards.
accounts, or did Caledonian lose as well?
I
Did
think
they?
so, yeah.
All right, okay. I didn't pick that up, but yeah, a great start. That's all you can ask for, isn't it? I think Bells Hill. I actually fancy Bells Hill to win that league this year.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Good start for Cambus Lang and Greenock, obviously 4-2 wins. Cambus Lang winning 4-2 at home to Kilsyth Rangers, I think. Kilsyth Rangers, yeah. You get two Kilsyth teams in the league. I've just wrote Kilsyth for them both.
Yeah,
Carlos Lang scoring two goals was really prolific for them last season and could be the same again. And Greenock, I think a really good start for them going to fourth and winning 4-2. It's a good start to life for Gary in the second division.
yeah, I think that's a fantastic start for Greenock. Um, fourth have had a good pre-season. I think they'll be a bit upset with that result, but great result for Greenock. And Cumbernauld, again, good quality up top of the park. Cumbernauld, the two lads up there are a real handful.
Yeah.
I watched them last season. Real handful. They'll do well, I think, this season.
Yeah, I think they could go under the radar. Actually, I didn't know they kept Carlos flying, so I think that could be a good move for them. Good start for Darrell at Les Mahago in his new job. I think is that his brother Luke? I think that scored two goals.
Is it? I'm not sure. I'm
I'm
not
not
sure at
sure
all.
either.
Once,
I'm just drawing my own conclusion, but I'm sure I've heard that. But I mean, 2-0 home win against Ashfield, so it's a good start. I think a lot of people were surprised at that move, but when you look into it, it's not surprising when he's at the history he had at Les Mahago. I think
yeah, he
they're
was the
another
amateur
kind of
manager, wasn't he, as
yeah.
well? Yeah.
He obviously fancies himself to do it again. Like he obviously did it with Lanark getting them up, and I think that must be the only reason he's went there to like I can do it again.
Yeah, I think so. And is he not local as well? I'm sure
I
he's a
think
local
he
lad
must
to
be.
his
Yeah,
eye. So, but listen, fair play, and he started really well. Ashfield actually, I think will be decent in that league
yeah,
this year. It's, again, they've recruited. They seem to have added quite a good amount of quality and experience to the team. But it's a fantastic start for Les Mago.
yeah, absolutely. A good starts for Bonnet and Lark Hall. They won 3-2 away from home. Bonnet beating Kilsyth Athletic 3-2, and Lark Hall beating Maybole 3-2. Two tight games. They'll be happy with a good getting away one in the opening day. I think you can't ask for better, can you?
Yeah, I can't. No, I cannot. And I think Lark Hogan away to Maybole is a massive result. A good statement result, to be honest with you. I actually trained next to us, and I seen Craw watching them during pre-season. I didn't see much of a ball, I can tell you that.
And two draws as well. Both sides I think could be quite close at the top. 3-2 Blantyre 2 and Thorn 1 Maryhill 1. I don't think a lot of people are surprised to see them both draws. I think Blantyre were 2-0 up against Threave, so it's a good comeback for them.
Yes, so we played Blantyre in the last pre-season game with shots, and the second half they were fantastic. First half we kind of maybe blew them out the water a wee bit, but the second half they were really, really good. Got back to three each. We were winning 3-0 at half time. But they'll come good. Good manager there as well. Knows his stuff. I think they'll be right up there certainly. I was a bit surprised with Thorn result. I'll be honest with you. I actually fancied Thorn. I've seen them a couple of times. A real good young squad. Young boy up front for them. Can't remember his name now. Scores all the goals. Is it McCausland or?
Roger.
Very, very good. Again, I think they'll be up there challenging in that division as well. Expect them to sort of be right up there come the business end.
Yeah, I think that could be a really good league. We'll go to the third division. Three big away wins. Joker winning 6-2 away to Fanart. Four goals from PJ O'Donnell. Good start for Glenville, 5-1 away to Perthshire, a hat-trick for Mackenzie. And Glasgow Uni winning 4-2 away to Lugar. Like, again, to win away from home and again taking add a few goals. Like, it's a really good start for those three sides, and they sit in a good position at the top of the table.
Yeah, a big one for Glasgow Uni. So I'm not mistaken that they don't actually take their intake until August, September
Yeah,
or
they've
something.
a lot of boys for last season though. I noticed that when
Right, okay.
so
But yeah, that's fantastic start. Very good. Joker again. Another fantastic start because Fanart, I think, fancied himself for this season going up. So a really good start for Joker.
yeah, absolutely. Ardea 3, Glasgow United 1. Kyle Crawford with a hat trick for Ardea. Good result on opening day, but probably the kind of story coming for that game was the signing of Effie Ambrose for Glasgow United.
And I'm starting with 10 men until he turned up.
I thought I didn't hear about that until about an hour before we come on, and I'm like, that's not surprising at all. Do you remember a
Yeah.
few years ago when Harry Redknapp got the? Remember he did a TV show on ITV and get like Neil Ruddock and like Paul Merson, Rob Lee. I think you could do a wee reality show with Glasgow United at the moment, couldn't you? Like it's
Yeah,
fascinating
a
what's going
few
on there.
stories anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you've got what borderline 50 caps I think for international caps in there.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean it's crazy, but again, like it's you can have all the quality and have all the experience you want, but you need to surround them with decent
Need
kind of
legs
character as
round
well.
about you.
Aye, of course, aye.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's a league where
But
I think Ardea, the youth they've got, I think they could be a side to watch.
I was going to say, I mean, we played when I was at Athlete, played Ardeen in one of the cups last year, and I was actually really impressed with them. I think they will certainly be up at the top three, four of that league. Sean certainly knows the league, and I think
Yeah,
he'll push them on this season, definitely.
yeah, I think they could have a good season. Good result for Craig Mark opening day. 2-0 win away to Knightswood. I thought that was a really surprising result, to be honest.
Yeah, massive surprising result. Knightswood obviously done really well last year. I think they've kept the majority of that squad. Craig Mark really struggled last year. We played them in the first round of Scottish, when I was at Athlone. They looked really, really poor. But listen, maybe they've recruited and a different side this year, but a fantastic start away from home as well.
Yeah, it's a good start. And Dalry winning 4-3 at home to Port Glasgow. I think there was a lot of excitement in that game. And Easterhouse winning 1-0 against St Ants. Dalry, I think they've got a lot of quality.
Yeah, they have got a lot of quality, and they've added from sort of the amateur leagues with Stephen Conley in there as sort of a coach. Who knows amateur ranks really well. Yeah, I think that again they'll do well. Manager's a good manager as well. So I expect to see them. But Port Glasgow again have invested quite a lot this season, and I expected them to be up there. But I was a bit surprised about the results. I thought Port Glasgow would maybe run away with that league, but listen, it's very early.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other game, Girvan 0, Kello 0. Moving into the fourth division, good result for East Kilbride Thistle. They won 5-1 away to Wishaw, doubles from Grant McLaren and a goal from Kieran Coleman. East Kilbride Thistle, I think, were a lot of people's fancies, and you can see why when they go and put 5 past Wishaw on opening day.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic start away from home as well. Can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. West Park winning 4-0 at home at St Peter's. Kaluk 4-1 at home to Vale of Leven. Two sides that will fancy to get back in that third division, and you start in the opening day with scoring 4 goals. It's a good.
Yeah, great result for Kaluk. By all accounts, they played Athlone pre-season and were supposedly quite decent. So I think they'll fancy themselves going up. I know Div relatively well, and he'll certainly be pushing them on.
Yeah, absolutely. Hat trick for Kamara for Saltcoats. They won 4-1 away to Campbelltown. Probably the result of the weekend in that division. Irvine Vicks beating East Kilbride YM 3-1. A lot of people were kind of surprised at that. Not because I think
It was
they
a,
didn't think Irvine Vicks. I think a lot of people fancied EKYM to be quite good. Not that I'm
it
saying
was
they
a bit,
won't be, but opening day.
it was a bit of a cutting buster.
Mm,
EKYM, by all accounts, I heard when they played Johnston Borough, played them off the park,
I heard that as
um,
well, yeah.
and were really, really good. Sort of bounced the ball around. But listen, fair play to Irvine. Vicks, they'll take a lot of credit from that, and maybe their experience, just too much experience. Got the big boy Adams up front still. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, Kevin Adam,
Who's a
I think
real
he scored.
handful. I
I
remember
think he scored as well.
him from my time at Villa Clyde. He's a proper unit and big and aggressive, and reminds me of the big boy that was at St Mirren, Yardley. Very, very physical, but listen, a lot of quality around about his feet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the other games as well in that league. BSC 1, Rossvale 1, Giffnut 1, Royal Albert 1, and Newmains 0, Eglinton 0. So good first opening weekend. Midweek action. We've still got the weather for it for the time being. So we've got some midweek action to discuss just on Tuesday night. Just some of the games if you fancy heading on Tuesday. Glenafton play Hurlford in the Premier Division. You've got Ashfield versus Bells Hill. Greenock Thorn could be quite interesting. And Carluke versus EKYM. And then on Wednesday, just a couple of games we'll maybe touch on. 3 week for shots, no midweek game?
Yeah, no midweek. And it's bizarre that we then have like 8 or 9 days with no game either in August. So, but yeah, it's the way the cookie crumbles.
It is, yeah. Just some of the games if you fancy going to a game on Wednesday night. Lags from Chapel kicks off at 7 o'clock. Troon St Cardots could be quite good in the Premier Division. Muirkirk or Drawson, and you've got Thornywood, Neilston, Benburb, St Rochs. Second Division, Kilsyth play fourth, Maple versus Bonneton. Third Division, Port Glasgow, Easterhouse, and Knightswood Ardere could be quite good. Yoker Dalry already could be an interesting game. And fourth division, Irvine Dix versus Giffnut, BSC versus Campbelltown, and Saltcoats versus Wishaw. A lot more games I haven't mentioned, but you can't really get through them all. Which are you maybe checking a game out in midweek, Jim?
Yeah, I'll probably go to a game in on Wednesday. I'm a bit of a sucker for it. Probably go and watch who we play sort of next kind of thing, or the following week. Always try and take a game in who we're going to face so we get an idea. Get those small margins if you can. I think it's important that you go and try and take as much games as you can in. So yeah, I'll be at games this week.
Yeah, get to everybody that's watching, get to a game. It's still the good weather for it. I think we have to actually get decent weather Tuesday, Wednesday. I heard, so
Yeah.
hopefully it does. The rain stays off because it's felt like it's rained for about a week and a half. But mate, can't thank you enough. I really hope everything works out for you, and I'm glad to see you still in the game at shots. So best of luck with that, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks very much for having me on, Scott. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. For more West of Scotland content, follow us on our social media channels. We'll have a roundup going Friday with all the midweek action, so check that out. And thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you all next week.